key essentials for REST principles. We will now discuss more about cloud, and we'll go on about discussing how cloud is beneficial for us, and we'll apply the REST architecture to solve some of the cloud challenges. If you have any questions on the REST architecture constraints that we discussed so far, you can type in your questions. I'll come back to you later towards the end of the session. All right. Cloud is an ubiquitous computing platform, which is a buzzword in the recent times. Here you are seeing the characteristics of the cloud, which are defined by NIST, National Institute for Standards and Technology. As per these characteristics, any cloud service which is offered should follow these characteristics and fulfill them, which are on-demand self-service, which means provisioning of computing resources without having human interaction, which means any customer can add or remove more resources without any administrator's intervention. A Dropbox service, which is a cloud storage, is a wonderful example of the same. You can buy plans of different storage capability or capacity without really having to go through any salesperson or an administrator. Same way, broader network access. Broader network access is another characteristic of cloud computing, which simply means the cloud service should be accessible using standard mechanisms over heterogeneous platform. Whether the platform is a thin client, thick client, or a mobile device, or a tablet device, or a Linux, or a Mac, or a Windows, or any other platform, it shouldn't make any difference. It should serve all these platforms uniformly. Resource pooling. Resource pooling simply means any resource can be allocated in a multi-tenant model, independent of the location and network topology the client is utilizing them from. It also gives rise to the requirement of rapid elasticity. Because the resource is pooled, it should be quickly and rapidly allocatable or removable from a particular customer. Hence, we prefer it to be automated. The last but the most important of all the characteristics, cloud services should be measurable. Simply because many of the cloud services are built or priced on the basis of usage, or as you go on your usage, or as based on your elasticity constraints. Hence, all the resources usage should be monitorable, controllable, and should be able to report them. Hence, there is a transparency in the measurements done at your cloud service. These reports should also be available for both the consumer as well as the provider as well as the brokers involved in the cloud services. We'll see who are the cloud providers and brokers and consumers in a little while. So these all are the advertised characteristics of a cloud service. However, the realistic expectations are completely different. Let's have a look at them. You might have seen many of your organizations which simply migrated their application from private deployment environment to the cloud environment, mainly wanted to do that because they wanted to reduce the IT cost. Many organizations or customers believe the cloud as a simple software platforms and infrastructure services. Yes, it is true. Cloud computing offers software platforms and infrastructure as a service, just like your utility services today. Hence, many of the customers who use cloud computing as a service are leasing the infrastructure rather than owning and maintaining, getting rid of the burden of owning them and maintaining them. It also helps leveraging in high-quality infrastructure at a lower cost and with the efficiency. IT companies which manage infrastructure no more can harass their customers on the basis of the expertise they are specializing. The expertise now available at a much lower cost and with more standards at an affordable price. Users also expect an instant infrastructure to be available for them using the cloud. Just like how automobiles are expected to go from 0 to 80 in seconds, customers expect their infrastructure to take from a 0 server to n number of servers within seconds. And today's cloud services very well offer the same. Customers also expect if the software is designed very well to take care of the cloud infrastructure, revenue can be very huge. A topic which we will discuss in the next few slides. There is also expectation to reduce the human effort and dependency, which makes up for the large amount of cost involved in maintaining application or the large web applications. We'll just discover now how these expectations are handled. Before we go on using or before we are exploring these problems and addressing them, let's have a look at the standard service model offered by all the cloud providers, all the cloud platforms. Here you are seeing a standard reference architecture for cloud-based systems, clearly indicating the cloud consumer, cloud provider, and the cloud auditor and cloud broker. Cloud consumer is the end user of the cloud services. A cloud provider is the one who is offering these cloud services to the cloud consumer. Example could be Salesforce, Amazon, Google, Rackspace, and many more. Cloud broker are the one who resell the cloud provider ability to the cloud consumer by offering value-added services, such as RightScale, who resell the Google Cloud platform to their customers by rightly managing the cloud services on behalf of their consumers. Here you can see very well in the cloud provider there are only 3 colored components which are the service layers, which make up the service layer and is also our service models, which are infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Let's take an example of infrastructure as a service. It simply refers to any of the computing infrastructure available over the cloud, such as database services or your storage or computing resources. Windows Azure, which offers such infrastructure as a service, has been largely popular. So is Amazon Web Services. You can know that in Amazon or in Windows Azure, you can take a large computing resources as your service and you can put your application on them without any manual effort. Same way, platform as a service offers many software platforms as a service, such as Cloud Delivery Network, as well as some of the database platforms. Next is the software as a service. Software as a service is a platform service which is offered by specialized software systems for their consumers. It can be even Facebook, it can be even Twitter. All such applications are softwares which are offered as a service. Let's now take a look at some of the characteristics of a good cloud and their challenges so that we can address them.